Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this penguin design, which was designed by me, and there's actually also already a tutorial for this guy on my channel, but I haven't, but I'm making it again because it needs to be updated. I think this one is like the second tutorial on my channel. I think the first one was the bee, like Loomigurumi wise, so I think it's about time for this one to get an update. And I absolutely love this design. I feel like this is just like such a special design kind of to me because it was one of my first ones, so it's not the best. It's a very simple design. That being said, because it's simple, it's super good for beginners. Also, I always mixed up if it was this one or my narwhal, but this one starts with a doubled cat band, so it's super easy to make. Like, this design is probably one of my best designs for beginners, and I'm gonna try to go extra slow today, so that way if anybody's a beginner, they can follow along. So, band-wise, I forgot to do the band count completely. I also just lost my notebook. Hold up. Okay, I found my notebook. But yeah, band count, I don't have it on this guy. I just forgot to do it before I started filming, and now we're here filming. So if you want to know the band count, it'll be in the description as always. The pattern will be in the description, as well as, I don't know, whatever else I put in there, like links to my Instagram. All that's in the description. So yeah, this is one of the older ones I've made. I made him literally yesterday so I can prepare for this tutorial. And yeah. So you're going to want to get whatever colors you want for your penguin. Today I'm going to be using very similar colors to this. I'm going to be using a light pastel purple for the main body color. And then for his stomach, I'm still going to be using white. For his beak, I might switch it to orange. I haven't decided yet, so I'm going to do either orange or yellow for his beak. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. You can get bands if you want to do cheeks, and you're going to need something for his eyes. You can either use just a black band wrapped around your hook 4 times, or if you have beads, you can use them. Safety eyes, whatever you want. Of course, you're going to need a hook for this. I'm going to be using my double-ended hook today. I just really like this hook, so I'm going to be using this one. But you can use whatever hook you want. We only use one side of it. I'm so used to using this hook. And, of course, you're going to need a C-clip to mark your rows, or just a stitch marker, whatever you use. I'll be using a C-clip today. So I think that is pretty much it. So we will get into this tutorial. And, yeah. So we're going to start by getting our penguin color. Whatever the main color for your penguin is, so the whole body color. And yeah, we're going to start with that. So I'm just going to pick up some of these. While I'm picking them up, I just want to say I'm so excited because I know this tutorial is going to be part of the thing I'm doing for this December, which is the 12 days of tutorials, which you guys, if you're just watching this tutorial at random, won't know about, but I'm super excited to be doing this. Like, I thought it was a pretty fun idea, so yeah. Super excited. This is actually the first tutorial I'm filming for this, but it probably is going to be so out of order. Like, the order I'm posting them in. But yeah. Okay. So, we're ready. So, like I said, the reason why this design is, like, super good for beginners is because normally with most of my designs, I start with a tripled cap band. But for this one, we're going to be doing a doubled cap band. So, we're only going to wrap it around one time like that. And then we're going to be putting 6 stitches into this cap band. If you don't know what that means, I'm going to show you in a second. Also, I just want to say, in case you're seeing this pink on my finger, I don't have cuts or anything on my finger. I was using some markers last night, and they kind of stained my fingers, and it won't come off. Just wanted to say that in case you're wondering what the heck is on my hands. But yeah, so we're going to be putting 6 stitches into this cap band. We're going to start by doing the first one. So to make a stitch, you're going to pull a band through everything on your hook. You're going to put both ends back on your hook. You're going to push, you're going to push the back one over the front one, like that. Then you're going to go back into the cap band, pull a band through the cap band, put both ends back on your hook, push the back one over the front one, and then push the loop from last time over as well. So we're going to do that exact same thing we just did 4 more times, so we have 6 loops in total. And I'll show you again in case you're still confused. So you're going to go into the cap band, pull a band through just the cap band, and then you're going to put both ends back on your hook, push the back loop over the front loop, and then you'll push the loop that's from last time over. And that's how you make a stitch. So we're going to do that 3 more times, so we have 6 loops in total. And if you lose count, it's okay. I'll show you how to count to see how many stitches you have once we finish doing the 6. So I know I have 6 stitches because I kind of counted as I was stitching, but if you want to make sure you have 6 stitches, the way we're going to do that is we're going to count. So we're going to start by counting the loop on our hook, and then we'll count all these loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's 6 loops. And now that we've made sure we have 6 loops, instead of going into the cap band, we're going to go into the first loop here. So this is the first loop. And we're going to make a stitch. And then we'll be putting our C-clip on this loop. So where'd my C-clip go? Oh, it's right here. So we'll be putting our C-clip on this one. It won't go on. Why are you being horrible? There we go. Like that. So for the next step, we're going to be increasing everything, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I am picking up more bands once again. But we're going to be increasing everything. So what an increase is basically 2 single stitches, and that's an increase. So this one already has 1 stitch in the loop, so we're going to go back in and do another one. So you'll go through the loop, pull a band through, put both ends back on your hook, push the back one over the front one, loop from last time. And then that would be an increase because there's 2 stitches in this one loop. So I'll show you again. So we're going to go in through the loop, make a stitch, and then you're going to go back in, make another stitch, and that would be an increase. So we're just going to keep doing this all the way around. Just going to keep doing increases all the way around. So we're just putting 2 single stitches technically in one loop, and that's technically what an increase is. But yeah, we're just going to keep doing this until we get to the C-clip. Okay. And then once you get to the C-clip, you're going to make a stitch on the band that has the C-clip on it. And then you're going to take the C-clip off that loop and move it up onto the into the loop on your hook. Like that. So now if we count around, we should be at 12 loops. So we're going to start again by counting the one on our hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that. So for the next row, we're going to be increasing every third. So what that basically means is we're going to be doing 2 single stitches and then an increase. And we're going to do this all the way around until we get to the C-clip. If you're confused, I'll be showing you in a second. I just always take a second to pick up bands after each row. But yeah, so this is 1 single stitch, is the one with a C-clip on it. And like I said, we're going to do 2 single stitches and then an increase. So this is 1. This next one's going to be the second single stitch. And then this one will be an increase, so we're going to put 2 stitches in this loop. Like that. And then we'll do a single stitch, so we'll just put 1 stitch in this loop. We'll do that again because we need to do 2 single stitches, and then we'll do an increase. And we just keep doing this all the way around. So you do 2 single stitches, and all a single stitch is it's just 1 stitch in the loop. Like that. So after you do 2 single stitches, you're going to do an increase. And 1, 2. And then once you get to your C-clip, you're going to move the C-clip up. You're going to make a stitch on the band that has the C-clip on it, and then you'll move it up. So you'll just move it up onto the band that's on your hook. So now if you count around, you should be at 16 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Like that. So now it's going to get repetitive, and it's super easy for the next 2 rows because we're going to be just doing 2 rows of normal single stitches. So we're not increasing, we're not decreasing, we're just doing 2 rows of nothing but single stitches. So yeah. And I'm just picking up some bands before we do this row. But you're just basically doing single stitches all the way around. And at the end of the row, you should still be at 16 loops. So we're just going to do single stitches all the way around. And we do this for 2 rows. I'll stay on camera to do the 2 rows with you, because these go pretty quick. In fact, we do a lot of single rows, it's just some things change a little bit, but it's not too bad. But yeah. Just doing single stitches all the way around. I'm not really talking because it's not much explaining to do. Once you get to the C-clip, you'll just make a stitch on the band that has a C-clip on it, and you'll move the C-clip up onto the band that's on your hook. Like that. So if you count around, you should still be at 16 loops. We have to do 2 rows of stitches like this, or just single stitches, so I'm going to do the second row right now. Yeah, I just wanted to say, because I did mention at the start how I'm doing 12 days of tutorials, and this tutorial was part of it. Of course, if you're watching this after, like, December 2021, you probably you didn't know about it. You're just like, what the heck is she talking about? I'm just trying to make a penguin. But, yeah, I thought it would be fun for Christmas to do, like, 12 days of tutorials in a row. I probably made a whole video talking about it and everything, but, yeah, I'm super excited for it. As of right now, no one knows I'm doing it, and basically my plans for this week are literally to pre-film 6 tutorials before I announce it. So, yeah, I'm doing a lot of work this week, and, yeah. But I'm super excited for this. Like, I have no idea. It's killing me because I can't say anything about what I'm doing. I'm just, like, in silence on everything because I want it to be a kind of a surprise. But I'm so excited. Especially because I'm going to be making tutorials for some designs people have been waiting for. Like, my Psychosaurus design is going to be getting a tutorial. I guess if you watch this video, you'll get some hints because I haven't really said what's getting a tutorial anywhere else, but here now, so... yeah, but I know my Stegosaurus is gonna get a tutorial. I'm hoping to finally have a unicorn. What else? I'm hoping to do some Christmas designs. I went to my sister to get Christmas design ideas because she's so festive and Christmas and all that, and I'm honestly not a Christmas person. Like, Christmas is cool, but I'm just not that much of a Christmas person, so yeah. Also, in case you forgot what we're just doing single stitches all the way around, and that's kind of why I'm talking, because it's just repetitive. So, talking to fill the silence, but yeah. This is also one of my favorite designs, and I really hope that me remaking the tutorial makes people appreciate it more, because I think it's a super cute and simple design. Just yeah. Okay, anyways, I just finished doing 2 rows of single stitches, so your penguin should be looking something like this. And if we count around, we should still be at 16 loops, so let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16, yeah. If you ever come with one off, always double count, because I tend to count wrong more often than I don't. Just a tip, I guess. Okay, so technically the next row is going to be all normal stitches, not normal, I still call them normal stitches, but all single stitches. The only difference this row is we are going to be adding 3 white bands to start the white. So you can see on the penguin, the white, so that's where we're at. So before we do the white, we're going to do 6 single stitches. So we're just going to do 6 stitches in a row in purple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to add the 3 white bands. And I just want to mention, if you're used to me, because usually what I do when I flip colors in designs is I'll slip stitch, so it like flips colors nicely. But with this penguin, we actually don't slip stitch or anything. We just make a stitch, but this time it's in white. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We don't do anything fancy. We just switch to white. And then once we go back to purple for the rest of the thing, we just start making stitches in purple. So we don't slip stitch or anything, we just do the single stitches in a different color. And then the rest of the way is going to be single stitches, so rest of the way until the C-clip is single stitches. And I need more purple bands. Always takes me a second to pick up bands. Once you get to the C-clip, you're going to make a stitch on the band that has the C-clip on it, and then you'll move the C-clip up. Like that. So now what we should have is still 16 loops around, but in the front right here, or basically you can see, so you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you'll have your 3 white ones, and then it just goes purple. And as you can see, I didn't do anything to flip colors, I just literally did the stitches in white. So yeah. So now we're going to do 5 rows of all single stitches. We're still doing single stitches, but the only thing that's different is we're going to start like expanding the white, if you can see how it like slowly gets bigger. And we do the exact same thing for every single one of the 5 rows. It's not too confusing, but I'm going to stay on camera to do 2 of the rows with you, and then you'll probably get it, and I'll go off camera to do the rest. But basically, it's going to be single stitches in purple. They're all single stitches, by the way, so if I forget to specify, for the next 5 rows, we're not increasing, we're not decreasing. They're all single stitches. But we're going to do single stitches until we get to the 1 loop before the white. So just do single stitches until you get to 1 before the white. So right here, there's the white band, and then there's 1 loop before it. That's when we're going to switch over to our white bands. And like I said, in this design, we never slip stitch. We just do normal single stitches. We just flip. We just change what color of band we're using. So the first white band will be, like I said, on the 1 before the white. Like that. And then on all these white loops, it's going to be white. So white, white, and white. And then once we finish doing white stitches on all the white loops, we're just going to flip back to purple. So we'll start doing purple single stitches again. And we just do this, and then it should just be purple all the way until you get to the C-clip. So that's pretty much it, and we're going to do this for every row, for the 5 rows. Let me just finish this row so I can explain a little more. So we'll move our C-clip up. If you count around, you should still be at 16 loops. But basically, that's what we're going to be doing. So for the next 5, well, we just did 1 row. So for the next 4 rows, on the 1 before whatever the white is, you'll switch to white. And then you just do white on all the white loops. And then once you get to the purple loop over here, you go back to purple. And you're going to do that for all the 5 rows. We already did 1, so you do 4 more. So if you already got it, you can go off this tutorial and do it. But I'm going to stay on and do 1 more row in case anyone's confused. and then I'll probably go off camera. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we need to do. Oop, why do we always go blurry? Okay, there we go. So, once again for this row, we're going to go with purple until we get to one before the white. So, this is all purple. And then once we get to where it's the one purple loop before the white, we're going to switch over to our white bands. And we'll be doing white single stitches just all across these front white loops until we get to the purple loop. So on all the white loops, you do white stitches, single stitches. And then once you get to the purple loop, you switch back to purple. So the only purple loop that you do a white stitch on is the one before the white stitches. On the end here, once we get to the purple loops, we switch back to purple. And you just continue doing this for the next 3 rows. And I'm going to go off camera to do those because I don't feel like I need to stay on camera. I feel like it's fairly simple. And if you are still confused, you can go back and rewatch how I did this row. Repeat the same steps and you'll be okay. But yeah, so I just did 2 rows doing the white thing. So for the next row, like I said, it'd be the same thing. You do purple until you get to one before the white loops. Then you change that one to white. And then you do white across all these white loops. And then once you get to the purple loop right here, you switch back to purple. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I hope that's not too confusing. I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna do the other 3 rows of single stitches, but doing this weird white thing so we can make the belly of the penguin. And yeah, so I think that's it. So I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest, so we have 5 rows in total. So I already did 2, so I'm gonna go do the other 3, and yeah. Okay, so I just finished doing the 5 rows, so your penguin should be looking something like this, and let's count around to make sure we still have 16 stitches, because at the end of those 5 rows, because they were all single stitches, you should still be at 15 stitches, so let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 stitches. So if you lost track of the white rows, because I know I've done that before, an easy way to check if you did the right amount of rows is just to count how many of these weird purple loops are sticking out. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this one would be 6. So if it looks like you did 6 rows of white, you did 5 rows of single stitches, because the first row of white we didn't count with the weird thing, so it should look like you did 6 rows of white. And if you did that, then you're ready for the next step. So now we're going to start decreasing to close our penguin up. And I'll show you what a decrease is. It's really simple. So like at the start, I just jumbled up all my words there. Okay, so at the start we increased every third. Now we're going to be doing decreasing every third. So we're going to do 2 single stitches and then we're going to do a decrease. So the one with the C-clip on it is going to count as our first single stitch. So this will be 1, the next one will be 2, so that's 2 single stitches, and then we're going to do a decrease. So what a decrease is you're going to grab the inside part of one loop and the back part of the next loop, and then you just make a stitch, and that would be a decrease. So I'll show you again, but first we need to do 2 single stitches, so 1, 2, and then we'll be decreasing. So inside part of one loop, back part of the next loop, and we'll make a stitch. And we just keep doing this all the way around. If you're confused on the decrease, I recommend watching what I do and then trying to do it yourself. Because sometimes that's helpful just to see it. So inside part of one loop, back part of the next loop. So yeah. And we do 2 single stitches and then decrease. And then once you get to the C-clip, you'll just make a stitch on the band that has a C-clip on it and move it up. So now, if you count around, you should be at 12 loops. So let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 loops. And right now is when you're going to want to stuff him. So you're going to want to get whatever you want to stuff him. I always use cotton balls just because, I don't know. It's my favorite way to stuff my Loomigurumi things. But you can use polyfill, whatever you have. I just prefer cotton balls. You know, I was working last night when I made the other penguin, and I actually finished him this morning because I got up to where I needed to stuff him. And then I was like, I don't want to use napkins, because every time I loom at work, I always forget to bring cotton balls. I really need to remember. So I either had to like wait till home or use napkins, and I decided to wait till home because I'm thinking I'm going to put these two on my Etsy, and I'm like, I don't want to sell a penguin on Etsy that's been stuffed with napkins. So I waited until I got home so that way I could stuff him properly. But yeah. At least I have been remembering to bring cotton balls for tutorials, because if you've watched some of my past tutorials, there was a phase where I forgot cotton balls every single time. But once your penguin is stuffed, like that, my light looks a little bright right now. I don't know what it is, but should be looking something like this. And now we're just going to finish closing him up. So the last row we increased every third. Now we're going to alternate between doing a single stitch and a decrease. So it'll be single stitch, decrease, until we get to the C-clip. So this one will count as our single stitch, so the next one's a decrease. So once again, we grab the inside part of one loop, back part of the next one. And because we just did a decrease, the next one will be a single stitch. And then we'll do a decrease. And then a single stitch. And a decrease. And we just keep alternating between doing a single and a decrease. And I'm almost back at the C-clip. So once you get to the one with a C-clip on it, you're going to want to make a stitch on the one that has a C-clip on it. And at this point, we can actually just take the C-clip out. We don't need to move it up. But we're still going to count around. So if you count around right now, you should be at 8 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to decrease absolutely every single stitch until it's closed. So every single stitch we do is going to be a decrease. So we'll just decrease everything until it's closed. And usually I know when it's closed when I can't pick up any more decreases. So I'll tell you when that is for me. So once you have picked up the last decrease you could possibly do when it's on your hook, instead of pulling a band through just a decrease, we're going to pull a band through everything on our hook, push the back one over the front one, and pull tight. And then we're going to hide our tail up into our penguin. Like that. And I usually just squish them around a little bit because sometimes it helps the bottom, I don't know, fix. But there's our main penguin body. So now we have to do a little bit of attaching to attach his eyes, his wings, and his feet. But it's super easy to do. I think I'm going to give him, should I give him orange feet or yellow feet? Hold up, I'm going to decide. Okay, so I decided on orange for his beak and feet. You can do whatever color you want. But we're going to start with the feet. So to make the feet, we're going to start by doubling a band on our hook. And then we're going to pull a band through everything on our hook and then put both ends back on. So you just chained one up. And then we're going to be putting 4 stitches to this top chain. So we'll start by pulling a band through everything on our hook, both ends back on our hook, and then push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to go into this first chain bit 3 more times, so we have 4 stitches. So you'll just go back in through the chain, make a stitch, and we just do this 3 more times so that way we can have, actually we need to do it 4 more times because you want 5 loops, not 4, I'm sorry. But yeah, you're going to do it 5 times in total, so once you want to check to make sure you have 5 loops in the first one, you'll just start by counting the one on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops, and then we'll move on to this cap band, and we'll be putting 5 loops into this cap band as well. So you should have 10 loops in total, so we'll start by counting the one on our hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you've made sure you have 10 loops, you're going to go into this first loop, get a band, pull it through everything on your hook, push the back one over the front one, and pull tight. So we're going to want to make 2 of these. I'm going to go off camera and do the other one, and then I'll come back and show you how to attach them to the penguin. Okay, so I made the other foot. Now I'll show you how to attach them. You're going to want to get 2 bands in the color of your feet. And then what we're basically going to do is you're going to want to set the foot where you want it. So just look at your penguin, pick where you want the foot, and then what we're going to do is you're going to set it on your penguin like this, and then you're going to go in, and then so you're going kind of coming down on it. Let me see. Oop. So you're coming down, you're going to go in, you're going to snag a piece of the penguin that's underneath, and then you're going to come out the other side. Then you'll take the band that's in the color of your foot, pull it through everything, and then make a slip knot. And then you'll just hide these 2 tails, and then that's how you attach the foot. I have noticed you literally don't need to do anything else. After you tie it that one time, it stays on pretty well, so I didn't think I needed to tie it anymore. I'm just tucking the tails in off camera because it's a pain to tuck them on camera, just because I always have a hard time seeing. But there we go, we have 1 foot. So now we'll do that again for the other foot. So we'll just set our foot where we want it. Then we'll come down. We'll snag part of our penguin that's underneath the middle bit here. So snag whatever's under there. I can't snag anything. Here we go. Then you'll come up through the other half, pull the band through everything, and slip knot. And that is how you attach the feet. I don't know if I tied them a little too close together. Nah, he looks great. And I'm just hiding the tails. I'll hide them on camera this time, but it's such a struggle. But you basically just pull the bands into the penguin, and then they'll get lost inside him and you don't have to worry about them. Yay. Feet. So next we'll do his wings. This is like the one thing I think I changed from my original pattern. I figured out how to make them a little bit easier, so that's how we'll be doing it today. And it gives the exact same look, it's just a lot less tying, so yeah. So you're going to want to get your purple color for the wings. And I'm just showing you where I put his wings about on this guy, so you can kind of figure where to put him this time. So you're going to want to pick where you want your wing. I'm going to go in right here. So, right here. And we're going to want to chain up 3. So we're just going to pull a band through, both ends on our hook. Pull a band through, both ends on your hook. So that way you have a chain of 3. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a stitch. So you'll pull a band through everything on your hook. Both ends back on, back one over the front one. And you're going to want to put a C-clip on this to hold it, because we're going to be taking our hook out. Like that. And then what you're going to do is you can kind of see that these loops, or this half of the chain, is going to be facing towards the inside. So you want to come towards those part that's facing towards the outside. And we're going to be doing 2 stitches in each of these first 2 loops, and then the last one we put 3. So we're going to do 2 in this first chain. So 1, 2. Then we'll move on to the next chain. Put 2. 2. And then at this point, you're going to want to take that C-clip out. You're going to put that loop on your hook. Push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to do 2 more stitches in this end, this chain on the end. So 1, 2. So now if you look at your wing, you should have 2 stitches on one side of the chain, and it should be the part of the chain that's facing towards the outside. So you have 2, 2, and then it should look like 3 on the end. Now what we're going to do is you're just going to put your wing down, pick where you like how it looks. You're going to go through part of the penguin, and then you're going to go through part of this chain, and you're just going to pull a band through everything and slip knot. And then you hide your tail. And he has a wing. So I'll show you how to do that again on the other side in case you're confused, because I know that these wings might be a little confusing. But after this, we just have to attach the face, and we're pretty much done. So the penguin comes together quite quickly. I mean, we still have to do the beak, but he's almost done. So once again, you're going to want to pick where you want the wing. I'm going to go right here. Is that too close? I'll go right here. Is right here better? I'll go right here. Okay. And once again, you're going to chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to make a stitch. So you'll pull a band through everything on your hook. Both ends back on, and then put the back one over the front one. Put a C-clip on this one. And then we're going to come back into the front part of the front chain here, and you're going to want to go make sure you go on the chain that's facing towards the outside. And we're going to put 2 stitches in the first 2 chains. So 1, go back in, do 2, and then you do 2 stitches in the next chain. So 1, you go back in, 2, and then once you get to this last chain, you're going to take off the C-loop on that band and put the loop on your hook, and then you'll just push the back one over the front one. And then we'll do 2 more stitches in this last chain. So there's 3 stitches in total, because the one we added counts as a stitch. Like that. Oh man, I think this wing is so off. And then to attach it to the penguin, all you're going to do is you're going to pick where you want the wing to lay. Go through part of your penguin, and then go through the part of this chain. Pull a band through everything on your hook. Put the back one over the front one and pull tight. Okay, my wings are not as crooked as I thought. I thought they were going to be really crooked, but it's just this one's just a tiny bit lower. We're fine. We're fine. Attaching on camera, I don't know why, things always come out crooked. It's rare I attach everything and it's like perfect. Like that rarely happens. Okay, so I went to go get my eyes, so now I have my eyes. I'm just gonna show you everything you need for the face if you want to do it exactly like I did. So you're gonna get whatever you want to... Oop, why do you always go blurry? You're gonna want to get whatever you want for your eyes. I'm gonna be using beads today. You can use safety eyes or bands. Like I said, if you use bands, you're just gonna want to wrap a band 4 times around your hook, and then you just pull a band through, and then you could tie it into your penguin. But yeah. I'm also going to be showing you how to do a bow in this tutorial. So you're going to want to get, I usually do 5 bands for the bow, so I have 3 purple bands and then 2 blue ones, so that way it can be 2 different colors. And then you're going to get 2 bands of whatever you want to be the middle color that's tied around these bands. And if you're doing cheeks, you're going to want 2 bands for the cheeks. But first we'll do the beak. So, to do the beak, you're going to want to come right here. And I usually do them always on these 2. So on these 2 stitches is where we're going to do the beak. So, well, I guess we can come in this way. It doesn't matter. So you're going to do 2 stitches right here. So 1, 2, and then we're going to turn. So our hook is facing this way. We're going to turn so we're facing the opposite way. We're going to do a stitch in this loop. And then you see this weird bit that's not a loop. We're going to go through that as well. And we're going to make a stitch. And now what we're going to do is we're going to undo these 3 loops, and we're going to re-loop them so they're facing this direction. So you're going to unloop them all so that way all their loops are sticking in the air. And then you're going to go through this one. That was technically the last stitch we did. Pick up the next loop, push the back one over the front one. Pick up the next loop, push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to go in right here. We're going to get a purple band. We're going to pull it through everything on our hook. And pull tight. And that is how I do the beak. The reason why we re-loop it at the end is just because it looks nicer. I don't know what it is, but it just works. I don't know why it works either. It just does. So we're going to do the eyes next, and I'm going to show you how to put them on a band in case you don't know how. But what you're going to do is you're going to get your bead. You're going to get a piece of string. This is actually dental floss is what I usually use. It just works nicely. You're going to put your bead on the string. Then you're going to put the band. Fold it over. Go back through the bead. And then you'll just pull your bead onto your band. You do this again for the second eye. And then we can just tie our eyes in. So I like to put my eyes kind of close to the beak. And I just tie them in. His eyes are so big. I tried to make this design with my smaller eyes and it did not work out. Like, he looked so weird. He looks better with bigger eyes is what I noticed. Like that. And then I'll come right here. Tie our other eye in. Like that. And there's our penguin's face. So now I'm going to put his cheeks in. I didn't put any cheeks on my original penguin, but I really like how it looks, so I'm going to be putting cheeks again today. And I usually just come real close to the eye. And then you'll stitch these in, but you'll pull them tight, but not too tight, and then hide the tail. There's one cheek, so we'll come right here. Do the other cheek. And if the cheek doesn't look right, just try a different spot. It's honestly really trial and error with these. That looks pretty good. I think this one might be able to move closer. I'll probably adjust it later. And the very last step is going to be to do the bow. So you're going to want to either get something with 2 pegs, or you can use your fingers, which is usually what I do, but it's not the greatest system, so you'll just put bands across your 2 fingers. I recommend if you're doing this on a peg, because it kind of suffocates your fingers, but I do it anyways. But you just put bands across 2 fingers, and you're going to put them in the order you want them. They sometimes get twisted like this, but usually I don't care, so you'll put the bands across your 2 fingers. I'll get my hook, and I'll kind of wrap the bands around, and then just slip knot, and then pull it off my fingers. If you have thinner fingers, it's probably easier. I have big hands, so, yeah. Use pegs, though, if you don't want to do that. And you have a bow, and you can stick it on your penguin. And usually I'll stick the bow right up through the cap band, because, like I said, this is a double cap band, so you can kind of really see inside the penguin. So I usually just pull the bow on top of that, so it kind of hides that. But yay, that is it for this tutorial. I hope your penguin came out okay. Mine look absolutely adorable. Subscribe if you want to see more tutorials from me. I'm going to be posting a lot, so subscribe if you want to see any more of those. I'm always coming up with new things, and yeah, I'm super excited for some tutorials I have coming. As always, my Instagram will be in the description. I always post new designs there before here, or even I only post them on here. So yeah, check out my Instagram if you want to see some designs before they get tutorials. Also, I'm alive on TikTok again. I've been doing some TikToks, which is exciting. So if you want to see what I'm doing on TikTok, I try to post every once in a while. So yeah, I've been on TikTok. I post a lot of Etsy packaging videos on TikTok if you're interested. But yeah, my Etsy, everything else will be in the description. Links are always down there, as well as patterns and everything. So yeah, I hope you like this tutorial. If you make this penguin, definitely show them to me on Instagram. I love seeing when you make my things, even though I don't sometimes like them for several days, because I procrastinate a lot, okay? But it's fine. But yeah, I hope your penguin turned out okay. If you make one, show them to me. I would love to see them. And yeah, I think that is it. So bye.